Like I still remember my first tour back in 2014 to Cape Town, and South African fellas are asking me if I'm ready to die today, and like things, you know.
You probably saw it at Emirates Airline Park, the Haka and the airplane and the music, etc.
You know, in terms of guys like taking Haka seriously, like that is the most.
Ruckers, it is that time of the week.
Yes.
It is your favorite time of the week. It's the time for Put On Behind the Ruck. Okay, we're sharing this like a gossip story. It is a fantastic week. The All Blacks touchdown in Cape Town International Airport. It's a rematch. It's a fantastic game, guys. This is episode 60 of your number one rugby podcast. I am the short one. I can feel the roundness over here, guys. I'm Rudy Page. Next to me, I've got the one and only.
Hello, kia ora. It's JDJ in the house, eh? Partner, how's things? You good, eh?
Partner, much better. The box got up for the last 10 minutes. We got over the line. So all South Africans, our shoulders
the green
are
and
back.
gold, shoulders are back, okay? And
we've been loud and proud this week.
Yes.
Saying a lot of things, making a lot of videos.
100%,
as
yeah.
it should be.
All the way from Joburg. Joburg's atmosphere is coming down to Cape Town. Some black clouds around here, so the boykies has landed, eh?
Partner, it's insane. The amount of atmosphere. I can actually feel. You can prickle the atmosphere in the air. The All Blacks fans waited for 7 years to have the team
7
back.
years.
They're shouting at the airport,
Did you see
welcome
that?
home.
Did you
I
see
saw
that?
it.
Huh?
I don't know how I feel. How do you feel?
Cape Town, don't do that.
Cape Town,
okay?
the seatbelts are off.
Yes. In Joburg, it was only 20%. Now they come here, it's 50%.
Not even 20, it was like 6, 7.
Yes.
Feel like Cape Town is
Some
more.
Maoris that speak Afrikaans there in Joburg. Yeah. But incredible atmosphere, Josie. I'm enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it?
Partner, that
was stressful.
It was stressful.
Goosebumps.
The All Blacks were fantastic. We're going to speak about that later in the episode. But just a fantastic atmosphere to be
Incredible,
part of.
yeah.
It's great to have the All Blacks in South Africa. That's all I can say.
And I mean, that whole atmosphere, it got me that feeling of 1995 World Cup, that final. I was a little pickaninky.
Hey.
Okay, chokerkie. Back in the day, yeah. So I just saw all this footage on TV, but it's just good to see, world in union, the airplane, the people shouting. Oh.
And Mr. DJ,
Yes,
Mr. DJ,
we speak to
you
him.
were fantastic throughout the game. My sister and Tina, too early.
Too early, okay? You had one job, they said, when you see the airplane, press the button. Timing, off. Okay?
So, as apologies around the world and to the All Black fans that are watching the show, we also apologizing on behalf of the DJ and everyone. We respect.
Massive respect for
the All Black and the Haka and the culture of New Zealanders. So on behalf, we're also making our apologies.
On behalf, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, because we're also singing, singing.
We're also singing Sister Bentina. It's my favorite song in the world, so I gotta do it. But guys, partner, before we get cracking, Ruckers Behind the Ruck is proudly supported by SuperSport Bet. Okay, guys, make sure if you don't have the app yet, go and download the app in the App Store on iPhone or on Android, and then our official apparel partner, Old School. Okay, and then guys, our beautiful studios that we always shoot at, that is our house and our home. The Are You OK Studios. The website will be there. Go check out the website and just check on people. Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Is you alright? We never do
You
it.
never know.
So, Are You OK Studios, they do fantastic stuff for online mental health. So go check out this stuff. And guys, something really important before we get cracking with this episode, okay? I want you guys to make sure I don't want any roofkijkers. No roofkijkers. I want you to pause this video. Pause. We're going to click the subscribe button.
Let's give it a pause on 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Hey, okay.
They've done their thing.
We gave it a
Welcome on
chance.
board. Excellent stuff.
Welcome on board.
Like, share, subscribe, always
100%,
Ruckers. Okay, without the support, we cannot be possible.
They've got the bell now. Okay.
Exactly, protocol of stuff.
Yes, notifications and everything. Okay.
Head boy is done. Now we're gonna have fun.
Yeah. Okay. Line it up. Must we line it up?
Menu.
Okay,
Like
let the people know, let the Ruckers know what's happening. Okay, Ruckers, the line-up's got 2 steps. Okay, let me see that one. 2-step. Okay, we got a guest in the house. Nice and easy, all the way from New Zealand. He's got a black passport, not like the other boykies from South Africa. Brad Weber in the house. Brad Weber in the house. Choo, choo. It's Spider-Man time. Hey, you're going to web this thing, okay, all around here. And also then we could cover the results, which we're going to enjoy. I'll say about it, and also the fixtures later on. Okay, guys? So sit back, relax, okay? Take your time, okay? Take your pura, take your popcorn. It's time to enjoy Behind the Ruck. This is Behind the Ruck, okay?
Your number one rugby podcast.
Hey.
Come on, guys.
Thank you, subscribers now.
Happy. Are we going to get cracking?
Straight
Waste
into it.
no time. We need to know
Get
what's
this
happening.
place full of
how
webs.
they're feeling.
Yes,
exactly.
okay, Spider-Man
Buddy,
time. Okay,
let's
up
go.
next, Brad Weber.
Come on. Partner, there he is.
There he is.
Chiefs legend. Yes. I'm gonna drop it like that. Ruckus audience, he's a Chiefs legend, all black. Brad Weber, welcome to South Africa's number one rugby podcast. How are you doing, champ?
I'm doing good, thanks, lads. Yeah, it's great to be on South Africa's number one rugby podcast. I feel very honoured, mate. I'll add that one to the CV. Thank you.
How are you doing, meneer? First of all, how have you been? How is France? How's the body? How's life in general?
Yeah, mate, it's pretty good. Just sitting here in my Paris apartment, looking out to the River Seine.
Oh, wow.
The Eiffel Tower's just down the road. You know, life's not that bad, mate. I'm enjoying it, mate. Body's still good, still hanging in there, getting through. Just about to start my second season of top 14.
Yeah, second season. Life must be good. Looking out the window and it's the Eiffel Tower.
That sounds so terrible. It looks like the sun is out there. He's probably having an espresso.
And
terrible.
season 2, première saison, comment ça va? Bien?
Ouais, très bien.
Oh, très bien. Okay.
Tout va bien aussi?
2 seasons. This guy, 4 seasons he hasn't. You know, he doesn't know comment ça va. You must talk to him. 4 seasons.
Brent, how is your friends now that we're actually on it? Any good?
Look, mate, it's okay. I can get by at cafes and at restaurants and stores and stuff, but in terms of conversation and going past sort of 2 or 3 sentences, I'm still struggling in that regard. But trying real hard. We do French classes once a week and try to do my own stuff at home. But geez, it is a tough language to learn, especially when you're a little bit older and have never had to learn another language before. It's a little bit tough, but I'm also finding like I'll go into, try and do as much practice as I can. I'll go into a cafe or a restaurant in Paris and I'll speak my best French and then they just speak straight back to me in English. They're like, don't even bother, bro. We'll just speak English here. So, yeah.
And rugby in France, obviously it's season 2 you said now. How was last season, first of all, and second of all, the type of rugby? Because we obviously, when it comes to super rugby and stuff, it's jouer, those type of things. And now it's physicality, box kicks, those type of things. How's rugby been?
Yeah, the first season was definitely a bit of a learning curve for me. Last season, my team here, Stade Francais, were very conservative, to put it lightly. I don't think I've box kicked as much in my life as I did last season, and a lot of people that have watched my rugby over the years will know that box kicking's not always been my strong point. Okay. I've always been a little bit more of a runner, a little bit more, just try and play up tempo and fast. So it took a little bit of getting used to, but certainly through the preseason this year, we're trying to play with a bit more speed and a bit more tempo, which sort of suits my style. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting stuck into this season, having learned a lot around how top 14 works, and we were good enough to make the semi-finals last year with that style of play, but I think our coaches realised that it's good enough to make the playoffs, that sort of style, but to win the top 14, to beat Toulouse, to beat your Bordeaux and La Rochelle's, come semi-final time, like you actually have to be able to play with the ball. So, that's what I'm here for. That's what they brought me here for. So hopefully I'll get to show that a bit more this season.
And Brady, was it a tough decision for you to move over? Seeming that you, or by the looks from the outside playing against you, it looked like the Chiefs were not just, it was everything for you. Captaining the team, playing a Centurion for the Chiefs. Was there a tough move in your career? Deciding, okay, this has come to an end now, I'm choosing Europe?
Yeah, it was initially. I didn't really want to leave. You know, I was really comfortable there. I loved the Chiefs. They're the ones that gave me my first opportunity, and I was very, everything about the Chiefs and the region I just loved. So it's hard to sort of leave your comfort zone. But then, sort of when the offer come through, I was sort of getting towards the end of my career. I was 32 at the time. We had a couple of young nines coming through, Cortez Ratama, who's obviously gone on to play for the All Blacks, and Xavier Rose, pretty good as well. So, I knew I'd be holding those guys back if I stuck around for a few more years. And then ultimately, I'd done just about everything that I wanted to do in New Zealand. And I went so much further than I ever thought I would ever get in terms of my career. So, when I was contemplating it, I was like, man, one day when I'm old and grey, having a few pints with my mates down at the pub, I want to look back and say, I gave Europe a crack, I gave France a go. I think that would have been pretty cool. It's way outside my comfort zone, and ultimately the last and only chance I'll get to do it. So now that I'm here, I'm really glad that I made that decision, and I think it's the right one.
And before, partner, we move over to All Blacks and Springboks rugby, I want to ask him, what is it like playing in pink?
Huh? In pink?
What is it like playing in pink?
They love the funny jerseys.
Yes.
Pink and blue and a mix of whatever.
Did you see yourself ever in pink before? What is that about in Paris?
No, hot pink. It's not it's not like a subtle pink either. Nope. It's about as bright as you can get. Yeah. So, no, I never thought I'd be playing in pink. I mean, I remember the Stade Francais teams of the sort of early mid 2000s with the flowers all over their jerseys, and the real out there interesting ones. And I guess this is just now another sort of style that Stade Francais have decided to go by. It's pretty recognisable, I guess. So there's that. My partner, she's she loves her pink, so she's pretty stoked that if she gets to come to a game, that she gets to wear her favourite colour. So I suppose. You do it, happy wife, happy life. That's the job.
Yep. So. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah. Exactly how it works.
But I would also play in pink, and if I can look outside, it's the Eiffel Tower. The location is unbelievable.
I'm going to be totally honest, Brad. We played in pink at the Bulls, and there was not a lot of away games that we won in that jersey. So that is first of all why I do not like the pink.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have any.
Not very intimidating, is it?
Definitely not.
You're looking over the other side and seeing blokes wear pink, you're like, Jesus, might be a bit of
not great.
And maybe, excuse the green and gold, yeah? Okay.
And excuse the smiles, maybe.
Excuse the smiles, eh? At the end of the day, we have to go there. Maybe talk to us. Obviously, in France, you had to watch the game, supporting your old teammates. What did you see from the atmosphere in South Africa and the game overall?
Well, it was a hell of a test match. Geez, I was nervous on the end of my seat, sort of watching that, and you just can't replicate the atmosphere that it's like in South Africa. Like it's so completely different than what Kiwis are used to, and especially now that we don't play them in Super Rugby. Like there's a lot of those younger guys now that was their first time ever playing in South Africa, and can you imagine your first time in South Africa and it's a sold out Ellis Park against the Springboks? Like it's pretty intimidating, but. Yeah, look, it was. I thought the boys played mostly as good as we possibly could at the moment, and it was just that last sort of 20 minutes. Once you guys bring on that bench, that's so much is talked about it, but far out they just made a huge difference, and especially once Offa got yellow carded, that sort of seemed like a turning point, and all the momentum was there. And mate, it's what it's like playing against you buggers. So once you get your tails up and you get over the gain line a couple of times, you guys are nearly impossible to stop. And it almost felt like it was a little bit of an inevitability in that last before Grant scored that try. I was like, damn, do it again, the buggers. So can't help but tip your hat to you boys. It's pretty incredible and sets up for an awesome rematch this week.
And maybe for me that stood up in the past. That would have been if the All Blacks had a 10-point lead. 10 minutes, there's no way the All Blacks are losing that game. So I think the tables might have turned in that way for the two sides, where we played like a Richie McCaw era led All Black side, where even though we didn't have a good game, we still found a way to get ourselves into the game. 10 minutes to go, okay, now we one more try away from beating the All Blacks, even though they were dominant for 65 minutes of that game. So that was the small thing that I saw, that it's the first time that I saw an All Black team who had the lead, who was playing the better rugby.
They were playing incredible rugby.
Dominant, and then I don't know if the moment got too big. That might be the wrong way to phrase it, but maybe inexperience in winning big test matches came into play there. Do you boys agree with me or not?
That's a hell of an observation, Rudy. It's, yeah, mate. Jeez, I didn't know you had that in you.
Yes, Mikey.
What an analyst.
There's a lot more to the big mouth, Webby.
Oh, not just a pretty face, mate. Yeah, look, you're right though. It's like that was something that the All Blacks prided themselves on through that sort of golden era from 2011 to sort of 2018. Was like once you get into that last 20 minutes of a game, the All Blacks would often sort of run over the top of teams, or they'd just be playing at such a tempo and such a speed that other teams couldn't keep up. And now you're right, the tables have turned. The South Africans they're the ones in that boat now. You need to know that if you want to win a game, you have to win that last 20 minutes. And it's someone said to me the other day that apparently the All Blacks haven't scored hardly any, if any, points in the last 20 minutes in the last few tests, which is quite a bit of a concern when you think about it. So, yeah, obviously a lot was going to have to go onto that bench, and they're going to have to really bring some impact like the bomb squad does, and
the bomb squad,
at least match it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you've got to match the bomb squad, and I mean, you've played a couple of seasons ago for the All Blacks against the Springboks. I think it was in Brisbane the last time. Your experience when you played, I mean, there was a lot of like senior players when you used to play. The type of rugby the All Blacks are playing now, and the type of rugby you used to, is there a massive difference, or is it pretty much the same?
It's a great question. I definitely think we're definitely missing those senior forwards. Like a lot's been made around some of the like Richie Going and a few others, but guys like Brodie Retallick and Sam Kane, Sam Whitelock, some of the front rowers, Dane Coles, that's sort of those sorts of guys. They've got a real hard nose about them. Like they really set the tone. They're a little bit of intimidation factor for the opposing team as well, which I think might be a little bit understated. Like if you look across at as a guy like me as a 9, and I see that I've got Brodie Retallick on my side, like the confidence sort of goes through the roof, having a guy like that. So, now these guys are looking across and seeing Eben Etzbeth and stuff like that, they're the guys bringing the intimidation factor. So, yeah, it's probably like a little bit of the physicality is perhaps not as dominant as it is. And certainly in terms of creating quick ball, like ruck time now is just an absolute shit fight. Like opposing defences are just getting stuck in, trying to slow the ball down. And, when you do that, the All Blacks kind of struggle. But when we get quick ball, we're pretty dangerous. So it's about trying to create as many opportunities as possible. And it certainly looks to me like we struggle in that area at the moment. Hopefully we'll, in the next sort of year or so, maybe we'll start building a bit more of that through the test season.
And that forwards in that era was intimidating. If you look at Kieran Reid, Richie McCaw,
Jerome Kaino,
Kevin Mialamo and the boys. I mean, you kind of need that, especially go forward for the backs, especially with the dangerous backs they do have at the moment, just to make sure that they keep going forward. It's very interesting to see.
I think Webby, before you for me, and while we're having this conversation about the All Blacks, for me I might be completely wrong, but I don't think New Zealand rugby has found anyone similar to Kaino in the last 5 years, that where Jerome stopped collisions, he stopped momentum, he gave momentum, he was an extra line-out option. So his physicality, I don't think they found that. Yeah. We've obviously found it in Pieter Steph de Tweet, who plays a very similar workmanship type of game to a Jerome Kaino for that golden generation that the All Blacks had. So I think that for me is the position that I don't want to say lacking, I just don't think they found that right guy that can give you a bit of everything. He's the workhorse, he's the dominant tackler, he stops momentum, he's the heartman of the team, the Jerry Collins, then it was Kaino. So that's my observation, Webby. I might
You're
be
observing a lot these days.
I'm watching my rugby since I've retired.
Well, I love it. I agree. Like, what I really love about the Springboks loose forward trios, they really complement each other really well. Like, they've got strengths that cover, I guess, the others' weaknesses. Like, you got the big bruising number 8s that are just hard ball carriers that just win gain line all the time. Then you've got Sia, who's just an awesome workhorse. He's now really dominating a lot of ball carries as well. He's a pretty dominant force in the middle of the field there. And then, like you say, like a guy like Peter Steph-Tutoit, who's just does a bit of everything. He's physical in terms of defence. He gets over the ball. He's just, he's a bit of a machine, isn't he? Whereas you're right, that's in the bygone era with Kaino, Richie, and Kieran Reid. They had that. They had the skill sets that complemented each other really well and benefited the team across the field. And probably haven't found that just yet. But I will say, I think Sam Penny-Finau, he's got a bit of Jerome Kaino about him. He's still only a young man.
Okay.
Played with him at the Chiefs for a few years. I think he'll grow into that role. A little bit young at the moment, but like I said, he can bang, man. He can hit guys. I know he tried to smoke that dude off the kickoff and got points onto his ass on the weekend, but it's like a welcome to South Africa moment for him because I don't think he's played in South Africa. So he'll be better for it. And I think you'll see him grow into that role eventually.
And maybe while we're on the youngsters, do you think this is an invaluable tour for them? No matter the result this upcoming weekend, no matter the result at Ellis Park, for New Zealand rugby and All Black rugby, that all these youngsters are learning lessons. They know what it's like to play in South Africa. Is this an invaluable tour for the future of New Zealand rugby?
And also in your position as well, like Ratima as well, that just comes off the bench. You know, are you guys missing Cam Roygaard at the moment? Is the experience of TJ Perenara and a standard and all those type of things when it comes to the youngsters?
Yeah, look, I suppose to answer the first question is this tour is huge for a lot of those young guys. Like I was sort of saying before, like one of the probably the biggest thing around losing you guys to Super Rugby is that these young guys don't get that taste of South Africa Super Rugby to get a taste of it first before having to step up to test level. Like I still remember my first tour back in 2014 to Cape Town and to Johannesburg and experiencing the high veld and experiencing the match day experience where you're going through on a bus and people are slapping the side of the bus. I'm getting off the bus to go into the ground and South African fellas are asking me if I'm ready to die today and like things, little things like that. It's like if you then have that first experience at test level, it's as a young man, like I remember experiencing it in Super Rugby and being like, wow, okay, I'm on a different planet. Whereas, I didn't have the pressure of then having to run out and play against the Springboks. So at least I got to sort of make my way through. So, this is hugely valuable to those guys and, they'll be better for it, no doubt. And then, your second question around like a lot of these the young nines at the moment, like Cortez Latima, I think he's fantastic. He reminds me a lot of Tawera Kurbalo, very, very similar player, strong, really good defensively, but young. He's still a little bit green, so he still needs these experiences, and. Yeah, I think he'll be better for it. He's certainly the future of our game, and we are probably missing Cam Roygaard. He's an incredible player, but I mean, you sort of have to move on, and I think having a guy like TJ there around Cortez and Noah Hotham, the third halfback, will be really invaluable to those guys for them to take over those two and Cam next year. So
and on TJ, I actually thought he had a really good game this past weekend, Brett. I thought his kicking, his passing, sometimes his strength is to apply pressure on the referee. He definitely did that. Was in
his
the
leadership skills,
absolutely his strength is applying pressure to the ref. So I was really impressed with TJ, and actually once they took him off, and I'm not saying it was Ratima's, whatever the case, that's when the game kind of slightly changed once they take the old ref. But I'm really impressed with TJ's performance, definitely.
Good form, yeah, and especially you. Did he say thank you for taking all the credit on that try he scored against Namibia in the World Cup for you? Because it's actually you that's flipping that ball.
That try won World Rugby Try of the Year, and I'm like, where's my half of that trophy? Like, oh, come on, I should at least have shared custody of that thing, you know?
Yeah. And Brady, just quickly on the Springboks as well. What have you noticed about the Springboks? We actually got Tony Brown.
Lovely.
We grabbed Tony Brown from you.
We are loving him. Right? We are loving him in South Africa.
He's giving us something different. He's balancing our skateboard a little bit.
We're finally playing rugby.
Yeah, so what have you seen with the Springboks attack? You know, the loose forwards in the wide channel and the forwards running off 9s and 10s?
It just looks like they've got the balance really, really well. And I think, Brownie's he's really encouraging them to play when it's on, and giving them the license to have a crack when it's on. And like, you guys just got the skill set across the park to do it. Like, so it's actually nice to, as a rugby observer to then see you guys actually do stuff like that. Like, I think it's really good for World Rugby, and certainly for the Springboks. And Brownie's one of the greatest brains in World Rugby at the moment. It's just certainly on the attacking side of the ball. So must be exciting times for you guys to be able to watch him hopefully unlock a lot of the skill set that particularly you guys, your backs have. We already know what your forwards do. They're big, brutal, aggressive, scary. And so to add some spice on the end of it's scary for World Rugby, mate. I'll tell you that much.
For us, it's exciting that we actually playing with the ball, and we got variation finally. We don't just go to the maul anymore. It's either throwing it over the top or putting a fake maul and going on the front, where Sasan Gamazulu went to the front with 10, 9, and 11. So it's really exciting for South African rugby, but I don't want to get carried away. Okay, Mr. Weber? I don't want you to sit there at home and say, oh, wow, these South Africans are feeling themselves. They have lost the plot. Okay, we understood. We only beat them by 4 points. We definitely understand that picture. And coming to Cape Town, there's going to be a massive swing in supporters, as you would probably know. So this test match is going to be completely different. There'll be way more love for the All Blacks in Cape Town. And what do you think is going to happen this weekend?
Yeah, I think that's probably one side of particularly Cape Town that I don't think a lot of Kiwis are actually aware of. That, the support that we get there. The first time I experienced it, I was real surprised. I didn't realize that. I had no idea. So that's huge for us. Like, I'm very grateful to South Africa Rugby for taking an All Blacks test to Cape Town. It's good for us. So, like, ideally, the boys will feel that support, and that'll help, because, geez, every man and his dog at Ellis Park is for the Springboks, right, and against the All Blacks. So it'd be nice to have at least a little bit of support, a little bit of cheering go our way. And look, I know the boys; they'll be filthy that they let that one slip. Like, they'll be genuinely pissed off that's what happened. So I'd like to think that the coaching staff will be coming up with a really good plan to counter what you guys have done. I wouldn't even be surprised if maybe they put a bit more experience on the All Black bench where they can, just to try and counter the Springboks bench. And ideally, if we can create some quick ball, you looked at some of the tries that the boys still scored was especially off turnover attack. I think it's probably something we haven't been real skilled at in the last sort of couple of years, is winning more turnovers to give our exciting backs sort of some mismatches out wide. And you can see what we did down that left flank with a little bit of that, but we need to create more opportunities.
Looking forward to this one. It's been 7 years since the game came to Cape Town.
Yes, it's too long.
They've been delaying it, especially because they know there's a lot of supporters running around here for the All Blacks. Yeah, but I mean, looking at the All Blacks, they scored some fantastic tries as well. It's going to be an incredible encounter. Hopefully, the weather will play its part as well. And you probably saw it at Emirates Airline Park, the Haka. Have you seen the Haka? And that's something you guys pride yourself onto. What do you think about what happened this weekend? The Haka and the airplane and the music, etc., coming from New Zealand.
Yeah, look, I know a lot's been made of it, but I don't know. I'm slightly on the different sort of side. Like I'm Māori, so I understand the respect part and that, but ultimately we are coming to your home. Like I'm kind of in the camp, like just to let you guys do whatever you want. Like, we've just got this. This is for us. This is the Haka is like about for me is always about connecting with my home, my family, and during Haka. Like there's a challenge, but I connect with my family from so far away by smacking my feet into the ground. There's like lots of symbolism around it that I draw sort of stuff from. So I'm kind of like, it's your home. You guys do what you want. If you guys want to stand there and face it in silence, do that. If you want to do your own thing with the flyover and stuff, I reckon.
Having an Emirates plane
that's just my opinion. It's probably quite different, but that's just for me.
And I want to know about the Haka actually. How does it work with the preparation, especially when it comes to the Haka? I mean, do you guys practice it? And how does it work, especially leading up to the weekend's game? And also, not only the type of Hakas, because you've obviously played for the Maori. You said you're Maori as well, and you played for the Maori All Blacks as well. Who do you decide? When is it that Kapopanga and Kamate? So how do you guys decide? Who decides it and who takes lead of it?
Yeah, it's usually the leaders that decide. I've always been a small fish in the All Blacks, so I'm never privy to those sorts of conversations. So I can't really give you guys any juicy insight into how those conversations go. But I imagine it's probably due to the magnitude of the test. We obviously saw a couple of Punga on the weekend. You guys are probably our greatest rivals, so. It wouldn't surprise me if that's going to be like that every South African test. It wouldn't surprise me if it's done again, but certainly a lot of work goes into it in the lead up to the first test of the year. We have usually a Māori elder that comes in and sort of teaches us how to properly do Haka, because some of the boys are terrible at it, and so they sort of be a little bit more competent. And then through the season, usually the guys like TJ is really good, offers his time to guys that need the help, and we'll go through it usually on a Thursday night and definitely a Friday night. And Friday captain's run we'll go through where we're placed and what one we're doing, and have a little bit of a run through so that we don't muck it up on Saturday.
That's interesting. Huh? Especially guys like Richie McCaw and Brody Retallick. You need rhythm, eh? You need a little bit of a dance move.
So that's why I was like, do you guys hide them, the boys with the two left feet?
we always tried to get Brody because not this year, but in the previous years, it was in the triangle formation, right? And the captain stood at the front. There was a couple of games where Brody was captaining the side, and boys were just getting stuck into it, because he's usually parked up out the back, just trying to hide. So we're like, no, you're going to get your ass up the front, bro.
The Maori Hakas, the All Black Maori Hakas is something special. I love to see them. It's a different type of Haka.
There was one, maybe I can't if it was
against British and Irish Lions.
Yes. That for me was insane. The one where you guys walked and it was like...
Yeah, it's like small walk.
Best one I've ever seen. That for me was honestly insane.
Yeah, and even the island game as well in New Zealand. I think it was at Waikato, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That was also a special one.
Yeah, those ones are always special. Like, I've got Māori heritage, but obviously I don't look incredibly Māori. Like it's a fair way back. So, but that's a really cool time for someone like me that does not real in tune with my Māori heritage. So it's like a real good learning time for me. There's lots of I guess like almost like classroom time, or like just where we have a Māori kaumātua, it's called, where a guy's with us for the week and tells us, stories about Māori history or about Māori customs and stuff like that. And for a guy like me, like I'm soaking all this stuff up. And then, in terms of guys like taking Haka seriously, like that is the most, the by far the best Haka that I've probably been involved with. And you sort of spoke about those two, like when you have sort of 30 odd Māoris who actually know how to haka. Like it's actually pretty intimidating, pretty cool to be a part of. You're pretty lightheaded at the end. You're sort of pushing yourself up too much. Like I'm almost like falling over sort of towards the end, like go a bit too hard. But yeah, man, there's been some special ones. That I was involved in the Ireland one, which you talked about, which was the first one I think after Shawnee Wainui had passed away. So we had his family there. And his photo was up on the big screen behind us. That was pretty emotional. Like, so sort of get stuff like that, which is pretty memorable, man.
And Webby, as a 9, obviously, I'm assuming, I'm talking out of assumption now, once you guys are on in the haka and then you obviously in emotional at a high level, for you as a driver, as a 9, how do you get yourself back to level to make good decisions? How does that transition work from we've laid down this challenge emotionally, I'm functioning at a high level, but I've got a job to do, I'm a scrum half, I need to be smart in my decision making. How do you get yourself quickly back to zero to make sure that I've got to drive my team to success now?
And also the disrespect from other teams when they don't want to turn around or they come with different type of things. The Wales one as well in the change room, all those type of things. How does it affect you guys?
It's a great question because you're right. Like nines and 10s, especially game drivers, we don't want to be too fizzed up before a game. You know, we want to be really clear-headed. We're not like the big boys up front who want to smash their heads against the wall to get them fizzed up for a game, you know? Yeah. So, after a pretty emotional or like certainly a pretty arousing thing like a haka, like you can get a little bit too hot-headed. So certainly for me, like I certainly try and go back, take a couple of real deep breaths, maybe have a couple of triggers in my mind. I like to sort of, my big anchor, I guess, to come back to the present. I like wiggle my toes in amongst my boots just to feel the grass under my feet, and that's sort of when I realise, okay, yeah, I'm back into the now. I can focus on my job. So that's sort of something that I do. Like you've certainly seen the boys now; they don't go straight into the game after a haka. They'll go back, have a drink of water, and have a quick moment before they get stuck in. Otherwise, geez, if you just kicked off straight after a haka, I think a few boys would be taking a few heads off. It'd be red cards left, right, and centre.
Yeah. I mean, also like the culture when it comes to the haka, I've been privileged enough to go to 2011 Rugby World Cup, that was in New Zealand, and to go to the villages and to see how the people live. It's a different type of culture, and it's special to them, and it's just awesome to see the pride you guys have for the ancestors. And I've seen probably 9,000, 5,000. Whatever type of hakas that week. It was crazy. It was insane. Yeah.
I don't know why, Webby. You guys always took us to Rotorua.
Yeah.
Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes.
So we always went to Rotorua where the bulls stayed there. Obviously, then we went to, there's a village in Rotorua where they cook the meat in the ground. So that for me was also outstanding. But the Chiefs always took me to Rotorua. Rotorua.
Well, some would say it's better than Hamilton, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. But Rotorua is like certainly one of the cultural hubs of Māoridom. Like Hamilton, like the Waikato and the Rotorua region is real crucial for that. And like, so it's cool that you guys got to experience some Māori culture. I love that. Like the hangi in the ground is it's pretty good. Like I always enjoy a good hangi, and then certainly in the last probably 10 years, maybe a little bit longer, like Māori culture is getting a lot more celebrated in New Zealand. For a long time, it was suppressed for a long time, certainly the generation probably before ours, but now it's way more celebrated, which is cool. Like we should really be proud of our Māori culture, of that. And I'm really stoked that sort of seeing it. So I'm glad you guys got to experience it as well. It's something else. That makes me really.
It is scary.
It's scary,
especially in Waikato at FMJG Stadium. When they run out and you see all these Maoris, they always have the Maoris with that clock thing. It's very intimidating.
And partner, I want to talk about another celebration. I don't know if Webby will know this one. It's in Napier. It's called the Thirsty Whale. Is that correct?
This one with the throwback Thursday.
Oh, sorry.
How do you know that?
Webby, obviously Super Rugby tours, the Hurricanes took us to Napier again. So I don't know what was it with the New Zealand teams. They never wanted us to play at the home base. So the Canes took us to Napier, and that is how I've met the Thirsty Whale. Webby, it is a brilliant little spot. I think it's coffee they serve there and cake, right? So coffee and cake.
Yeah, and you've truly experienced Hawke's Bay life, Napier life. That is number one on TripAdvisor, I think. So have a night out at the Thirsty Whale. That's where young Brad Weber really, got his nails dirty, got stuck in on a Saturday night. 18-year-old trying to pull some real good dance moves on the middle of the Thirsty Whale. It's good times.
Good times. I just want to quickly, I just remembered I had to have a disclaimer for my wife. We'll be watching this episode. Wifey, this was before our time. I was also young, like Webby said. I was a youngster with the Bulls. Apologies.
She's going to Google
I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.
In trouble it is. Webby, let's quickly go through your career as well. I mean, you had an incredible career. I mean, we said 123 caps for the Chiefs, and you've played with, Aaron Cruden and so much guys, Anton Leonard Brown, and also some of the boys that's playing now for the All Blacks. Your journey so far, after how long are you still planning to play in France as well? You're trying to move back as well to finish your career that side? Yeah,
probably. I mean, I'm 33 now, so I've got 2 more years left on.
Still young.
2 more years left on my deal here at Stade Francais. So 35 when I'm finished. I would like to maybe go back for one of those token senior seasons if the Chiefs will have me, but if they won't have me, then I'll probably just hang the boots up. Maybe try and come steal your boys' jobs. Go grab them one.
Yeah, we'll give them a chair here in the middle.
The more the merrier.
Yeah, the more the merrier. But I don't know if I can handle 2 nines. That's the question.
Partner, 9s are always fun. Okay. I actually want to talk a little bit. Obviously, your career playing the way that you played with your amount of pace. Was it always your strength growing up? Was Brad Weber always extremely fast? The ability to beat people on the outside, your sharpness of your passing of the base. Was it always something you focused on?
Yeah, I was lucky enough when I was at high school. I started to get a bit of speed, and then in my last couple of years, we had a couple of really good sprinters at my high school, and they needed a couple extras to fill up the 4x100 meter relay team back in the day. So
were you in?
I was pretty good. I was pretty good off the mark. I was always pretty quick to start. So we'd be really. So they asked me to come get involved, and so I did a lot of sprint training with one of our science teachers. Funnily enough, was the men's 200 meter sprint champ. So he was teaching us how to sprint, and so like that sort of stuff was invaluable for me. Like I look back on it now and just be like, that ended up being a huge reason why I became a professional rugby player, I think, because my speed's always sort of been a little bit of my point of difference as a 9. Like I tried to...
Don't point at me. He's pointing at me here. I don't like this.
Speed is important for 9s.
I don't know why he's pointing at me.
Yeah, I started out as a fullback and tried to resist getting put into the 9 jersey, but being my size, as you know, Rudy, like you kind of force into there eventually. So, I ended up not fighting it and getting in there. And then, I suppose like all the extra sprint training that I would have never otherwise done has just set me up for life. So, I've still got a little bit of pace, mate. I know that once that leaves me, I'm probably out of a job. So I've got to keep on top of it. But yeah, mate, it's always been something.
But I've always wondered why I haven't had any pace. It used to be the biggest struggle of my whole career, where I was like, I don't have pace. But I played cricket and needed sprinting.
That's now the difference, yeah.
I was static behind the wickets, trying to be a keeper. Biggest issue.
Of course you were a wicket keeper. Of course you were.
That chirpiness on the wicket keeper.
It makes so much sense.
I was pretty decent, Webby, to be totally honest with you.
No, you did, yeah.
I can imagine you chirping the batter too. I imagine you would have been a nightmare to be at the stumps against you, just chirping and
just so confused why you would mention. I never chirped on the rugby field, buddy. I just don't want the audience to get the wrong picture here. Where I was generally a very kind, nice, quiet guy on the field, right? Right, boys?
Little chihuahua.
You've always been kind.
Yeah.
You've always been kind.
Maybe just quickly, your challenges as well. When you started as a youngster, you obviously had to wait after behind Kurt Barlow and Augustine Pulu and the boys. Injuries and your challenges, breaking through so late. How was it? How did you take it all in? What is your mindset like?
Yeah, it's a bit of a different path to being a professional rugby player. A lot of times I got told I was probably too small to be a rugby player, and then guys like Aaron Smith and Rudy Page, burst onto the scene and trailblazed for me, and so I sort of saw a little bit of a glimmer of hope, and just I don't know, I love rugby. I still enjoyed it, so I was happy to keep working away. Had a couple of kicks up the arse from guys like Tony Brown, actually, who probably saw the talent in me, but saw that I probably wasn't working hard enough at it, and gave me the motivation to start working a bit harder at my craft. And then when I come into the Chiefs, I was so blessed with like Tawera Kurbalo as a mentor, and then Dave Rennie was my first head coach with Wayne Smith. You can't really ask for a better start to professional rugby, really. So I was very grateful. And then, I guess, Tawera did his knee against you boys, actually, in South Africa, I think in 2016 or 2015. So sort of gave me an opportunity to get some more game time, and through the tutelage of those guys, I was ready to take my opportunity, I guess. And, like I said, those sort of coaches got so much, they made me a way better rugby player than I ever thought I could be. So very, very grateful that, those guys put the time and effort into me, and, playing for the All Blacks a few times was something I never thought would ever happen to the small little white boy from nature. So partying at the Thirsty Whale, so not bad.
Hey, I know how good it is.
We're not cutting that part.
I'm not judging. and maybe I want to quickly talk. I know a lot of young boys, they struggle with ACLs, they struggle with injuries. Maybe if you could say a little bit about, I know we played at Ballymore. Am I correct when I say when you got your ACL, that warm-up game before? How did you handle that time of your career and got back from that?
Mackenzie was actually pushing him in a wheelchair. I saw that photo. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Funny you say that, because everyone thought that I had done my ACL at the time, because I couldn't really tell them exactly what was, where the pain was coming from. But I actually ended up breaking my femur that day. It was so I actually broke my thigh bone, which is pretty mad. I don't think many people have seen that on a rugby field. I think that's why they just kind of assumed it was my knee, but they were sort of doing, they even did like the ACL test on me, where they pull back on the lower leg, and my whole leg sort of came away. So eventually, it was actually my femur. But
apologies,
mate, it was tough, really hard. Never had a big injury like that. Certainly mentally, I was pretty down. We had the British and Irish Lions touring that year, so I had I missed out on that. Things like that. But then had a couple of really good conversations with some special people that our mental skills guy at the Chiefs at the time, come around and saw me a couple of weeks after I got back from Brisbane. And, I was telling him all how down I was and how bad I was feeling. And he's like, mate, you've broken your leg, but just to have some perspective, you do promos at hospitals and you meet kids that will never walk again, and all these, you're going to walk, you're going to run again. There's so much more to be grateful for and to be thankful for, and so much more to look forward to. So it really changed my perspective from then on. Stop feeling sorry for myself. There's so many more people going through way worse things than a professional rugby player dealing with an injury, and just to get stuck into your rehab and look forward to the finished product that you can be at the end of it. And I was, again, very grateful for that conversation. Otherwise, I'd still probably be feeling pretty sorry for myself.
I love a complaint, Webby. I'm not going to lie to you. That is one of my favorite. It used to be one of my favorite things about playing rugby is a cup of coffee and complaining. I miss it the past years. I don't have it anymore. I had to give it to my wife, and she's not entertaining me.
Geez, you would have fit in France then.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Was it a ciggy as well? A ciggy outside, a ciggy and a coffee?
No ciggy, but definitely coffee and smelling like cigarette. Maybe before we say goodbye, I want to know, the reason for my question now is, partner, I think South African Nines is transitioning to the way you play your rugby and played your rugby when you were at the Chiefs. What would you say if there's a youngster watching the episode now? What must they focus on? What is important? How did you do it to achieve the highs of your career? Because I really believe a lot of our Nines are moving into the direction where the way you played your game, fast, being ability to take on defenses, the sharpness of the breakdown. What did you focus on and how did you do it?
I think I'm loving the Nines coming through South Africa at the moment too, by the way. I think I'm a big fan of a lot of them. Like, you're right. They're quick, they're nimble, they're challenging defences, but they're also really tough. Like, I love some of their defensive work as well, which, we're much the same, mate. We're small guys, but we get stuck in, a bit aggressive, like little Jack Russells or something. But I like, to be honest, a lot of those to I suppose any kid in a similar position, like, probably changed when I stopped obsessing over my weaknesses and what I wasn't good at. Like, it was when I sort of dove fully into, okay, like, what I sort of stepped back and said, okay, what are you good at? What's your point of difference? And for me, it was, at the time, it was my speed. It was my ability to challenge around rucks. It was getting second touches on line breaks and finishing. So once I sort of started really diving in and being like, okay, I'm going to focus head on into being getting to the ruck fast, passing really well, backing up and challenging with my speed. And, it just took off from there. So I think, we can get a few too many tendencies to focus on our weaknesses and work on that a lot, but never forget what you're good at and what's your point of difference that people are going to stand up and notice. So never forget it.
Special and powerful, eh?
Love it.
Important words, yeah. Webby, thank you very much for the time, eh? I know it's straight after training and it's been a tough week. Far prepping for the first couple of games there at top 14. But yeah, all the best with the season. Hopefully we'll see more of this.
Yeah, hopefully
scoring a bit, yeah. And enjoy it outside, yeah.
And quickly, Webby, before we say goodbye, give me a score prediction. I just need to get this. Score prediction, All Blacks, Springboks rematch. What are you thinking? Who's going to win it?
All Blacks what?
Yeah, I got to back my boys.
You got to have to.
All Blacks, they'll score 37 points. Springboks, 31. High scoring game.
Okay. Hopefully we'll see that.
You guys? What do you guys got for me?
I'm going to go 32-21 for the Springboks. I think we will be way better. Last week we were 60 minutes, not that great. So I think the Boks are going to put back a performance that they're going to be really proud of.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a slippery game this side. I will go 11-16.
Okay.
Springboks, yes. We're keeping it tight.
He wants
low score.
He wants kicking. Not happy with that.
Yeah.
Now, Webby, thank you so much for your time and all the best for the season. And I think our audience are going to love having you back in South Africa on their screens.
No worries, lads. Thanks so much for having me on. Great to see you boys doing such great things behind the mic. Love it.
And behind the ruck.
Behind the ruck.
And you need to subscribe, Web. Okay?
Yeah. Get him in there.
Go and subscribe. Okay.
Guys, that is Brad Weber. Ooh, that was nice. Educated for days.
Pocket rocket.
Pocket rocket.
Brad Weber. That was fun. That was absolute fun. Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Weber.
Yeah, merci beaucoup. The fun is in the house. No, excellent. I must say, experienced guy that's played for All Blacks, the Maoris, and the inside he has, and his thoughts on the Springboks and the All Blacks was incredible to see.
And fun. I think most important, Ruckers, he's a fun guy, a lekker mens in Afrikaans. You say you're a great human being. Thank you so much.
All the Nines, yeah.
All the Nines are great people.
All the Nines indeed, yeah. Yeah, but that was incredible. Let's move over to the big stuff. Emirates Airline Park. Okay, quickly the results. It was Springboks versus New Zealand at 5 o'clock and the score was 31-27. Okay, we've been there. We know what the deal is. And then at 12 o'clock, it was Argentina versus Australia. And Australia got one over the Argentinas, 19-20. Incredible weekend of results.
Yeah, only 2 games. It feels weird, but fantastic rugby. The Bokke coming through at the end. Obviously, we could see the All Blacks. It was Lima Sipuanga the previous week, Ruckers. Now it's Brad Weber. They're obviously chucking a lot of flowers at us. We will not get soft. We will not allow their compliments to make us soft and to put us at ease.
We're not going to go there.
No,
Okay.
voorkopie klein.
Klein, yeah. But yeah, the most important is the DHL Stadium when it comes to this weekend. It's the Springboks versus New Zealand at 5 o'clock at DHL Stadium. Okay? And the game straight after Argentina versus Australia, which is at 9 o'clock.
That's much better.
Is it much better?
Much better.
You like that, eh?
Yeah, much better.
Late,
I can watch that one.
Let's go to that Newlands game. Incredible. It's been 7 years since the All Blacks came here. And if you look at all the stories on social medias, it's almost like a home game for them. Okay?
Pardon, the people were shouting at the airport, welcome home.
Welcome
home. Webby just said, guys, while we had the conversation with him, how nice it is to come to Cape Town and see how much people support the New Zealand teams. So I am having a big shout out to every South African that's coming to the game. We need to be louder. We need to be prouder. We need to be fully dressed in green and gold. We need to make sure that our Bokke get fully 100% of us this coming weekend.
Yeah.
Come on.
Fully agree. Fully agree.
Okay, but back to the rugby part. We're here to discuss rugby.
At Cape Town, hey? Yeah, incredible. I must say, when it comes to Emirates Airline Park, the incredible rugby that was shown from both sides actually. And the tries has been scored from New Zealand's point of view. South Africa, key players we spoke about. The worry of Shasha at number 10 and Fassi at number 15, but they were incredible. And we're looking forward to seeing them this weekend.
Yeah, I've got the full thingy that the All Blacks were really, really good for 65 minutes. A really good rugby side. But the Springboks are in a generation where we have the best Springbok generation, I believe, ever. And they find a way to win rugby games. We weren't good for 62 minutes. In the last 18 to 20 minutes, we went old school South African DNA. Bietjie seer gemaak, bietjie geëet, soos om dan sê, we take them to the haven, and it was an excellent finish to the game. Grant Williams, guys, with the winning try, okay, so he was fabulous, his kicking was excellent, and I'm extremely happy for him, well deserved, he's been playing excellent rugby.
Even in the bomb squad, that's why the bomb squad is a thing. It's like a second team, and we need that second team. If you look at Kwagga Smith, the impact he's made, fantastic work. And then Elrich Low, physicality for days, hey. I didn't know he'd step on him as well. Mark Delia was like, hey, okay,
where you going? Where are you going, Ella?
The impact, and that was the difference. The pressure the bomb squad actually made when they came on, making a difference, putting pressure onto them, making them get a yellow card at the end of the day, and putting us in the right position to win the game.
And hopefully we'll get more of that this coming weekend, but with a better start.
Yeah.
We coming out of the blocks a little bit better. Rakas, I remember telling me at the field when we sit next to the field, this reminds me a little bit about the start against Ireland in Durban. We had a slow start. Willie got injured. We had a blood thingy. So there was a lot of resemblance. I'm going to go over that one. Okay? Bing, boom, bang, bah.
Yeah, Rakas.
So there was a lot in that game. That reminded me of the test in Durban, but we overcame it. We came back into the game excellent. But this one
is
different. And I want us to start better. And obviously, I know Eben will probably come back into the starting lineup. Rakas, obviously, at the time of recording this episode, we don't know the team yet. Just to give you a bit of context.
100%, yeah. It's a massive game. Freedom Cup is on the line. 30 years of documentaries. Only the Rakas will know what's happening.
Exactly. 30 years of documentaries.
Okay. But yeah, incredible. I mean, it's pretty much like a final. It's been 15 years even since we got that cup. And I mean, it's time for us to also keep the cup in South Africa.
No, it's going to stay. I am fully confident the Boks are going to be amazing this weekend. I really got zero doubt. Last week, I had a bit of nervous energy in my tummy because we haven't seen the All Blacks for a while. But knowing that I don't want to say, I know how those guys will know, the Springbok boys will know, they didn't show their best hand as yet. Yeah. And I think we're going to be excellent this weekend, partner. I really believe. You could see the emotion in Coach Rassi's face.
Yes.
Once Grant scored the try, how much they wanted.
That emotion and the emotion when you look at the guy that's falling around. Falling around.
Okay. Excellent evasion. Excellent evasion.
Yeah. But incredible, man. And to have the All Blacks in Cape Town, they're training obviously at Athlone Stadium and sharing the, meet and greeting with the Cape Town, with their people, the Black Passport guys.
Yeah.
The Black Passport, okay.
I'll be checking
them afterwards, okay.
We're going to take receipts. Yeah. But I want you guys to go give them cook sisters. Go give them lekker samosas, okay? Feed them. Hulle moet lekker dikke satera.
Ja, so die broeklegs binne. But yeah, it's going to be a crack of a game. 5 o'clock, DHL Stadium. It's been 7 years. We can't wait.
Any changes for us? What
There's a couple
changes
of,
will you make?
Obviously, Klaas not going to play. His game is
klaar.
klar. Okay. And then we're waiting on Siya Kolisi, obviously, for the team announced to see if he's going to be ready. Because that's a massive impact. We kind of want him. We do know we've got a couple of guys back. Saman, Murat, and the boys coming
Partner,
back.
I saw him this week on the training field, so I'm hopeful that Sia will be back leading the team, making sure that we get that Freedom Cup since 2009.
It's been a while.
It's been
Throwback Thursday.
too long.
It's been old school.
It's been old school. So hopefully Sia is back. I would like Saman Murat to come back. I know Juan Orkier, excellent game partner. But if it wasn't for
both sides, 4 and 5.
4 and 5. And then we can bring on the bomb squad again to hurt them.
Make a big difference,
to turn the knife and make sure that we send them home with nothing.
With nothing.
And they used to do it to us all the time. We mustn't feel sorry for them. Back in the day, I went to go fetch a 57-0.
Albany bread. Okay, sorry.
But I want us to turn the knife. They didn't feel sorry for us back then.
They didn't feel sorry for us. Elke ook krijg je beurt.
En een varkon kreeg 2.
Okay. Yeah, incredible.
But look, I can't wait for the game. As I always say when it's test match Springbok, I wanted to go Saturday to Saturday. That's everything in the week is taking way too long. But I look sold out DHL Stadium. The Western Cape has waited 7 years to get a Springbok All Black game, so I can only imagine the atmosphere is going to be off the charts.
Off the roof.
But I want us, Ruckers, if you guys are going to the game, bietjie seatbelt. Don't start too early with
1-2 steps.
So let's have a lekker seatbelt. Let's be safe. Let's be responsible.
Yes, agree.
Okay?
Agree. Don't listen to him.
Not too early. Let's pace ourselves nicely. I know it's excitement. Pacing. Vital. Okay? I'll do the same.
Well done, it boy. Okay.
Like that.
Love it. Okay?
Partner, ek wil gewoon net die protocol en die belangrike, die important stuff, hoofscene stuff. Guys, this beautiful setup and everything of our beautiful show is proudly supported by SuperSportBet and our official apparel partner, Old School. And we are so grateful for their continued support to the two of us with the mic. So I want you guys to go out and check out their stuff. Honestly, support them as they've supported us. And then we are in the beautiful IOK studios, okay? Lekker here, linkie below, okay?
Check it out.
Okay, and then while you're checking it out, if you haven't subscribed, if you missed the beginning of this episode and you haven't subscribed and you haven't clicked the notification button, do so now.
Yes.
Do it.
Don't click it, smash it.
Do it.
Smash that button.
Do it.
Let's give him a second. Another second. Okay, and go. Hey, another subscriber. Can you believe it? Another subscriber it is, eh?
And we see them next week.
See you next week.
We see them next week.
Goodbyes, man.
We gotta say goodbye.
Is it goodbyes or see you later?
It's see you later.
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Okay, I'm Juan de Jong.
I am Rudy Page.
And the Ruck is clear. Bye-bye.